Hello, readers and viewers of Embassy Direct. Continuing with our series of interviews for our 10th anniversary edition. Uruguay, I think known as the River of Birds. That's apparently what Uruguay means. Uruguay has won 2 World Cups and it hosted the very first World Cup. And I have the honor of being here with His Excellency José Luis Rivas. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I hope those facts were right. 2 World Cups.
Indeed, I don't want to get into this discussion, but indeed, we have 4 stars because we won before the first World Cup in 1930. We won the Olympic Games, football Olympic Games, 1924 and 28. So the FIFA has recognized those 2 Olympic Games as World Cups as well. So that's why our shirt has 4 stars.
Wow,
like
so I
4 World
stand
Cups.
corrected. 4 World Cups. Wow. So, Your Excellency, you've been in South Africa for how long?
It's been 1 year and a half.
1 year. And so what has your experience been so far, and what have you sort of gained, or what do you like and dislike, and how has South Africa embraced you?
That's let me start by saying that it's been an excellent experience in personal and professional terms. Professional, I think it's obvious this is diplomatic capital in the world. It's to get to a place like Pretoria where you have like 100, almost 130, or I think it's 123, or so most of UN members are here. So you can engage with colleagues from almost all the UN members. The whole UN is 193, the whole UN. So you can engage in bilateral, multilateral. So it's in professional terms, it's a capital, it's a diplomatic capital. And if I may say, in my personal experience so far, this is a wonderful place to enjoy. There are many positive things beyond the professional. That's very important. Also, life is very, very pleasant here.
Right. So what is the most exciting things you've done so far then in your year and a half? What's pleased you the most?
In terms of places, visiting places, for example, I think that I've been already 3 times in one of the most beautiful cities and places in the world. It's Cape Town. So that shocked me. I knew that it was great, a great city and a great region, but it was above my expectations.
Fantastic. So what interests me is that Uruguay apparently was one of the first South American countries to recognize South Africa and have a diplomatic relationship. What do you think? How does that connect the 2 countries? The fact that you guys were the first in. Why was that? What was the history of that? And
yes, we established diplomatic relations in 1968. So you're right. We are one of the first countries in Latin America to started diplomatic relations with South Africa. Uruguay is a small country. We've been always open to the world. For small countries, and in particular for my country, relations with other countries are very, very important and vital. You also know that our presence here in Africa is not that extended as Brazil, Cuba, or other countries from Latin America. But we share many things with South Africa. We share many things, not only in terms of, for example, the type of production that we have. We produce agricultural, like wines, beef, etc. But we also, for example, share sports. So We've been engaged for many, many years in rugby, for example. We are not as good as you.
I've never heard of a Uruguayan rugby team, so yeah.
Oh, we played a 7.
Well, there you go.
And then we got the 9th place.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, we won. We beat, I think it was Hong Kong, the US, Canada, and we lost we got the 10th place. The 9th was England. We lost that game. 7 aside in Cape Town. I was there.
The sevens. Well, watch out, South Africa, Uruguay are coming. So that's amazing. So, okay, so knowing that, then is it a great place for South Africans to go visit Uruguay? And if it is, where would you suggest they went? What are the visa implications and that sort of thing?
Let me tell you something. Uruguay and South Africa, now we are linked because of something that happened 10 years ago, 12 years ago in particular, the World Cup. So I know that for many South Africans, Uruguay, I mean, I'm not saying that it was not known as a country, but I think that in South Africa, because it happens to me, everywhere I go, they say, "Oh, I remember, the 2010 World Cup here. You got the 4th place," and so. And that I think first thing is to know a country, to know that the country exists first of all, to know that that country, for example, has good sports, good football, not as good as you in rugby, but we also have that in common. So, and we try to facilitate things. Of course, between one important thing is that we don't have we don't request visa for South Africans. So that's something that facilitates the for South African tourists to visit Uruguay. On the other hand, I must say that fortunately, due to the COVID pandemic and connectivity is not the best now, so it's a challenge. But I'm sure that for South Africans that enjoy good food, the sea, have a really nice coastline, have good infrastructure, it's a very safe country. We have a lot to offer for South African tourists. So I think that it deserves to be considered by South Africans as a destination.
Are Uruguayans considering, or do they come to South Africa? Is there a lot of tourism coming
Absolutely,
this way? Right.
absolutely. As I said before, unfortunately, this post-pandemic situation with connectivity is not in favor of both sides. I mean, it's difficult to go there, but it's also difficult to come here. But I think next year, I heard from our people in capital that maybe June, July 2023, there's going to be a direct flight from Johannesburg to Sao Paulo in Brazil, and then it's 2-hour flight to Montevideo.
Yes, we just heard that actually. So what about business opportunities? And is there a chamber of commerce here set up for the Uruguayan, for South Africans to go to start investment in Uruguay and vice versa? Is there a lot of trade going on? What about people that want to provide services and that sort of thing, tourism and various other services? Is that set up? Is there a place that people can go to facilitate that?
Look, one of the, I think, of the good results of our first bilateral meeting, we established a bilateral consultation mechanism, South Africa, Uruguay, in 2015. This year, 31st May, we held the first meeting between Deputy Minister Botis and my Vice Minister Carolina Ache, held here in Pretoria. And we engage also with the Chamber of Commerce of Johannesburg. So we already have an MOU that I hope will be signed between the chamber, that is a very important chamber of commerce, and some of our chambers in Uruguay. We have, in particular, one that is the Uruguayan African Chamber of Commerce in Uruguay. So that is an important reference in terms of private sector. On the other hand, as you know, we signed in 2008 a bilateral agreement between Mercosur, it's the group of countries, the southern cone, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay, with SACU. So, and that includes some benefits, preferential trade. So that's the framework. Of course, that is to facilitate private to engage in trade. So we've been working, and then there is another important issue that, of course, part of our task as an embassy is to promote the country and to get investors. So we can also help with that. That's
so come direct. Is there an online, or do people come directly to the embassy there to sort of find out more information?
absolutely
Great.
yeah. That's the way it works.
And so that's brilliant. So the Embassy Direct is entering its 10th anniversary, and it's great that you have an association here. I mean, what are the benefits of something like an Embassy Direct, and what do you think they're going to do for the next decade? Where would you like to see them go in the next decade, anyway?
I think first of all, it's for the public opinion. Not only I go beyond the just diplomatic community, but for public opinion, it's also important. Public diplomacy is very important. People in general sometimes ignore what the real role of embassies and consulates. So I think of course the public diplomacy is carried out by the governments, but also like you can be an important tool as well to make people know what we do. So that's useful, I think, for the government and for the embassies as well. So I think during the next years, public diplomacy will be more and more important, and the role of people like you, actors like you, will be also more important.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's been a really fascinating to talk to you. And I'd like to know a little bit more about Uruguay, and then maybe one day visit there. And
you will be welcomed.
Yeah,
you'll be welcome, more than welcome in Uruguay.
Thank you. An honor to speak to you, Your Excellency. This interview was proudly brought to you by Outsurance. Thank you.
Thank you so much.